Alright. Well, they're both a half, I think, because you can make the same argument for this triangle, and this triangle. So, actually, I guess that's not true because these triangles could be different side lengths.
Okay.
And still would make this shape. Well, you could, well, what could you do? Well, how can we figure out that these, it's a half. What other lines of symmetry could we use?
Well, it's not even just symmetry, but what did you just figure out before?
I figured out that they're equal. Those two lengths.
What
These
lengths?
are equal.
Those are equal lengths, and you actually wrote something on the page.
That we have an isosceles right triangle.
Okay, that's not what you wrote. What did you write?
These angles are 45.
Okay, what else does that tell you?
Well, that tells me that these angles are all 90.
The fact that that angle's 45 tells you that that's 90? How come?
Because you can make the same argument for these three triangles.
Okay. What else does the fact that the angles you found are 45 tell you? It tells you something else.
Well, it tells me that these are the same, but these aren't necessarily the same.
What aren't?
These two sides aren't necessarily congruent to these two sides.
Okay, but circle one of your 45s that you wrote on there. What does knowing that angle is 45 tell you?
Well,
Just think only about angles.
so 45, it's half of 90.
Yeah, but
So-
think about another angle that you learned when you know that angle is 45. What do you know now? What other angle do you know?
This angle.
Yeah, you already wrote that down. So what new angle that is not written down do you also know now that you know this angle here is 45?
I know this angle. That's 135.
Okay.
But that doesn't really help me.
Okay, good. But it's a new thing. What else do you know?
Well, I know that this angle's 45.
Okay, why?
Because opposite angles are equal.
Opposite angles are equal. Okay, so what does it tell you that that angle is 45?
Well, that tells me already, because we knew that this was a half.
All right.
And this is 90. So we know that this is a half, this length. Which means that this has to be a half.
Okay. So once you figured out these angles were 45, you knew that's a half, that's a half. So what do you know now?
So now I know that all these sides are a half.
Okay.
Because of symmetry, you can do it for all the other ones. So now the area of this shape, this side here is root 2 over 2.
Okay.
So the area of this shape is 1/2 plus, so 6 times 1/2 cubed. So half plus 3/4, which is 5/4.
Why did you say a half cubed?
Because this, the area of one of these is a half squared times a half.
Oh,
It's based times height over 2.
Based times height over 2. Okay, interesting. Okay, all right. Good work, hon.